Hey Warriors diehards, are you ready for the next seismic shake in Dub Nation? Before we get into the heart of the rumor mill, do me a solid and smash that like button. Subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report and turn on those notifications because you won't want to blink or you'll miss a single play of what could be the most electrifying offseason in franchise history. Now, settle in, because whispers out of the Bay Area and beyond are hinting at something huge. Could the Golden State Warriors really be on the verge of confirming not one, but two game-changing additions to the roster? To veterans who bring championship experience, clutch shooting, and elite rim protection. But before we name names, let's unpack how this speculative bombshell came to light, why fans are already losing their minds over social media, and what it could mean for the Dynasty Warriors as they prepare to chase another title. It all began with an off-the-record tip from a front office insider who's been linked to the team's internal decision-making circles. According to sources who spoke on the condition of anonymity, Golden State scouts were in Cleveland and Indiana late last week, quietly putting the finishing touches on contracts that would bring an all-star center known for his monster rebounding and shot-blocking prowess, alongside a sharp-shooting wing whose catch-and-shoot ability stretches defenses to their breaking point. The rumor spread like wildfire after a well-placed NBA reporter tweeted that the Warriors brass couldn't be more confident these two veterans will don royal blue and gold. Fans immediately began piecing together the clues: the center, whose presence in the paint demands double teams; the guard, whose pull-up triples have wrecked opposing heart spaces. That seemed too perfect to be a coincidence, but is it really happening? Could this be the offseason coup that vaults Golden State back to the top of the Western Conference? Before anyone else even knew the game had started, let's talk specifics. The first name floating around is Jarrett Allen, the Cleveland Cavaliers' towering center who averaged 15.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, and 1.8 blocks per game last season. He's lauded league-wide for his rim protection and pick-and-roll finishing. Then there's Buddy Hield, yes, the former all-star shooter who torched defenses in Sacramento before stints in Indiana and Detroit, who's known for his devastating efficiency from beyond the arc, shooting a career-best 39.9% from three last season while averaging 17.8 points per game. Imagine pairing Allen's interior dominance with Hield's off-ball movement and lethal catch-and-shoot mechanics. Could this mean the Warriors suddenly address two of their biggest offseason needs: a reliable defensive anchor in the paint and a consistent third-option shooter without mortgaging the farm? Sources suggest the contracts are structured cleverly to fit under the luxury tax radar, using sign-and-trade exceptions, veteran minimum deals, and perhaps a minor salary swap involving a lesser-used role player. But what exactly would Golden State have to give up to make room? Brandon Podziemski's budding sharpshooter potential, Jonathan Kuminga's sky-high athletic upside, or perhaps a protected future first-round pick to sweeten the pot? Some insiders believe that the front office has already run the numbers to the nth degree, confident they can retain championship-level depth even after these moves. Beyond the X's and O's, there's the chemistry factor. Warriors fans know better than anyone that Steve Kerr's system thrives on unselfish play, constant ball movement, and defensive versatility. Adding a traditional rim runner like Allen could shift Draymond Green's role back toward perimeter playmaking, allowing him to orchestrate from the elbow and bully mismatches on defense. Meanwhile, Hield's off-ball prowess would slot perfectly, alongside Steph Curry and Klay Thompson spreading the floor, baiting double teams, and opening lanes for Curry's gravity-defying threes. Is it possible that Kerr has envisioned a big-for-plus lineup, where the spacing created by two elite shooters amplifies Allen's lob finishes and putback dunks? Could this be the missing variable that turns late-season slippage into deep playoff runs? Fans are wondering if this marks the beginning of a new era, one where the Warriors blend the steel of a defensive stalwart with the silk of a high-octane shooting attack. The historical context makes this even more tantalizing. Remember when the Cavs traded for Kevin Love in 2014, creating their own Big Three? Or when the Rockets feasted on perimeter space by acquiring Eric Gordon and P.J. Tucker? Those moves reshaped title landscapes. Now, Golden State looks poised to engineer its own reshuffle. Social media has exploded. Reddit threads are dissecting potential lineups. YouTube mock-ups are painting Hield's release in royal blue and gold. And even die-hard analytics sites are recalculating team net ratings with Allen's shot blocking horsepower factored in. Could the Warriors leap ahead of the Suns, Lakers, and Nuggets by locking down rim protection, something that haunted them in last year's playoffs? while simultaneously reigniting their trademark offensive dynamism? Then there's the fan reaction in the Bay. At neighborhood watch parties and local sports bars from Oakland to San Francisco, you can hear the excitement in every conversation. If Allen cleans up the paint and Hield drains 45% of his threes, is there a team that can stop us? Others are more cautious. We need to see if they actually integrate, or if it's just another promise that falls short. Reports from season ticket holders indicate phone lines at Chase Center jammed with calls asking about season-tickets-plus packages, anticipating an even bigger draw next year. And on social media, influential Bay Area podcasters are already lining up guests to debate the possibility, is this the move that seals the dynasty? One asked, while another countered, at what cost do you give up future flexibility? Amid the speculation, the front office remains characteristically tight-lipped. General Manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. recently hinted in an interview that we're exploring every avenue to build on our foundation, and head coach Steve Kerr teased that we'll have more pieces to fill in as the offseason progresses. But that's all we have, vague nods wrapped in guarded optimism. Could this be a strategic play in a high-stakes poker game to flush out competing offers from other contenders? Some insiders believe that by publicly floating these names, Golden State is testing market values, gauging which executives are willing to part with their best assets. Is it possible that the rumor itself is part of a negotiation tactic designed to stir chatter and unsettle rival front offices? And what about the ripple effect? If the Warriors secure Allen and Hield, would this push the Lakers to swing for a different center upgrade? Could the Suns pivot back to a big man search or double down on their backcourt? Teams like the Knicks and Mavericks, always lurking, might be forced to recalibrate their own offseason blueprints, knowing that the West power structure could shift overnight. Fans of those franchises are already strategic tweeting their displeasure. So Warriors keep stacking, and we're left scavenging at the draft. One GM candidate lamented. Another rival executive quipped that if Golden State pulls this off, we'll need to rethink what it takes to compete in the modern NBA. Through all this noise, one thing is clear. The Bay Area's championship window is far from closed, and the front office seems determined to assemble every weapon in their arsenal. But as the rumor mill churns, the ultimate question remains, will Jarrett Allen's defensive gravity and Buddy Hield's sharpshooting translate into the perfect formula for a title run? Or will the disruption of adding to new personalities dilute the Warriors' soul? Fans can't stop reloading their feeds, trying to catch any new hint or update. But for now, we're left with tantalizing questions, guarded optimism, and a burning curiosity that only heightens the anticipation for when the ink finally hits the contracts. But what do you think about all of this? Personally, as a Warriors supporter, I believe that bringing in a defensive anchor like Jarrett Allen alongside a knockdown shooter such as Buddy Hield could be the key to rekindling the championship fire. Yet I also understand the risks of disrupting a finely tuned chemistry that has defined this team for a decade. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you're as hyped as I am for Warriors News Fan Report, smash that like button. Subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of the drama in blue and gold. Now, picking up from where we left off, imagine Jarrett Allen patrolling the paint at Chase Center, swatting away shots with his 7 feet 5 inches wingspan while Buddy Hield stands in the corner, ready to bury a triple at a blistering clip. The excitement alone is electrifying. But some insiders believe that this could merely be the opening act of an even more jaw-dropping offseason saga. Could this mean the Warriors are already setting their sights on yet another seismic shakeup, one that involves none other than Luka Doncic? Is it possible that, with Allen anchoring the defense and Hield spacing the floor, Golden State will next emerge as the suitors for Luka's brilliance? Fans are wondering if this could be the turning point that turns a championship contender into an unbeatable juggernaut. Picture the chemistry between Steph Curry and Luka Doncic, two of the most electric offensive talents in NBA history linking up in the Bay Area. Steph's gravity from deep would force defenders to chase him out to 30 feet, only to catch and fire as Luka's unparalleled court vision finds him cutting backdoor for the dagger. Conversely, when defenses collapse on Doncic's step-back 30-foot bombs, Curry could sneak off ball to drain uncontested threes. Two dynamic playmakers on the same roster, could this be the ultimate spacing alchemy? But let's dive deeper into roster construction. With Allen and Hield likely in place, where do Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Brandon Pajimski, and even Bronny James fit into the rotation? Kuminga, fresh off his breakout showing in the playoffs, averaged 8.3 points in 18 minutes per game last year. But with Allen commanding starters' minutes at center, Kuminga might see more time at small forward, guarding elite wings and cutting to the basket as an athletic finisher. Moody, who shot 37.5% from 3 in 22 minutes a night, could become the first guard off the bench, providing instant scoring punch. Podziemski's rookie potential, he drained 42% from deep on limited attempts, might yield a sixth-man role, coming into sustained floor spacing when Curry rests. And then there's Bronny James, whose enthusiasm and hustle plays earn him late game minutes in blowouts as the franchise grooms a potential future asset. Some insiders believe that with this depth, Kirk can deploy 9 or 10 reliable rotation pieces without sacrificing defensive tenacity or offensive firepower, of course. This retooled hierarchy raises questions about Draymond Green's place in the mix. Could we see Draymond shift permanently to power forward alongside Allen, spearheading drag coverage and playmaking from the elbow, while Hield occupies the weak side corner and Steph orchestrates from the top of the key? Fans are wondering if this could free Draymond to embrace his pure facilitator role, raising his assists per game. He averaged 8.3 last season to double digits in critical playoff moments. Or is it possible that Kerr might experiment with bench lineups featuring Draymond as the veteran glue guy alongside Podziemski, Moody, and Bronny, allowing the starters to maximize offensive spacing? Meanwhile, rival fan bases are already bracing for impact. Imagine the Denver Nuggets, fresh off their championship run, scrambling to plug the void left by Nikola Jokic's likely defensive lapses against Allen's rim protection, or the Oklahoma City Thunder, convinced they could control the pace until they watch Hield light them up from the corners. Clipper supporters, ever desperate for a third star, see this Warriors blueprint and ask, what must we do to compete with a team that could feature Curry, Doncic, Allen, and Hield on the same roster? On NBA Twitter, Shams Charania tweeted late one night, sources, Warriors exploring multi-team trade scenarios involving Luka that could reshape the entire Western Conference landscape. While Adrian Wojnarowski responded, if this happens, the league's balance of power will shift overnight. Even Andre Iguodala chimed in on a podcast, musing, pairing Steph and Luka is a fan's fantasy, but fitting them alongside Draymond and Jarrett Allen, that's next-level ambition strategically. The implications for the playoffs are staggering, with Curry's 30-point nights and 6.4 assists per game, combined with Luka's 28.7 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 8.8 assists in key clutch minutes. Opponents would have to choose between sagging off shooters or double-teaming ball handlers either. Decision handing Golden State multiple free look opportunities. Analytics models recalculating championship odds with this quartet see a leap from a current 18% probability to over 35%, eclipsing any contender outside of a hypothetical Suns reloaded roster. Could this mean the Warriors emerge from the West as heavy 3-1 favorites with a cushion even before tip-off? Yet for all the promise, skeptics warn of potential pitfalls. Adding the franchise cornerstones Allen and Hield, and then chasing Luka demands not just cap sheet genius, but also a high tolerance for roster turnover. Is it possible that the turbulence of integrating so many new pieces in a short span could undermine the cohesion that has defined Golden State's culture? Would Draymond's leadership withstand the constant push for shots among multiple ball-dominant stars, or might Kerr find himself coaxing a symphony of superstar egos into harmony? Off the court, the emotional swirl is equally potent. Season ticket holders who renewed last year at $1,350 per seat are pondering upgrades, while local businesses predict a surge in revenue from sold-out crowds when the battle of the Splash Brothers versus Luka's Mavericks airs at Chase Center. A viral tweet from a longtime Warriors fan captured the sentiment. If Steph and Luka play together up here, I'd camp outside for tickets. Meanwhile, a former player turned analyst posted on Instagram stories, tagging both Curry and Doncic with the caption, "Imagine the chaos," instantly igniting fan art and highlight mashups that spread across every platform. As the rumors heat up, every turn feels like a cliffhanger. Will the Warriors leverage their mid-first picks and role players to chase Luka? Or will they preserve assets for the future? Could Buddy Hield's salary be the final piece in a three-team sign-and trade that clears cap space without sacrificing young talent? Fans are clamoring for clarity, refreshing the ESPN trade machines and mock draft simulators, trying to divine which assets would fetch a superstar of Luka's caliber. Some insiders believe that Tom Thibodeau's Timberwolves and Monty Williams's Suns might need to be coaxed into multi-team deals to make the numbers work. Others whisper about draft night coups, where Golden State packages a protected pick and veteran contracts to Arizona in exchange for ASS/ETS that unlock a direct path to Luka. No matter how the boardrooms shuffle, one fact remains unshakable: the Warriors' relentless pursuit of excellence refuses to wane. From Allen's alley-oop finishes to Hield's knockdown threes, from the possibility of a Curry-Doncic partnership to the nurtured development of Kuminga, Moody, Podziemski, and Bronny, Golden State is orchestrating a master plan. They're building not just for next season, but for the next decade, ensuring that whether Steph's jersey eventually hangs from the rafters or he moves into ownership, the franchise's soul remains golden. Is this bold enough to bring another banner to Chase Center? Personally, as a ride-or-die member of Dub Nation, I believe that if the front office can balance these blockbuster moves with the preservation of our core culture, we'll look back on this offseason as the moment our dynasty entered its most fearsome chapter. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report so you never miss another explosive update.